very glad and proud to present you my third book, Healthy and Chiseled. This book is a result of the research which I made all my life. I started training in a very early childhood when my father took me on a swimming pool. He was a water polo champion, and he took me in the swimming pool, taught me how to swim. Then I started training different sports, and then I started wondering how can I improve my health, my body. Then I started experiment with a lot of things and with a lot of diets, health programs, until I found what works best for me. I did a lot of research. I studied medicine, I studied neurology, I studied a lot of research about fitness, and later I start training other people. And I'm very proud to say that I've got more than 100 clients over 3 continents, Europe, America, and Africa. And I helped a lot of people, and I would like all of this experience about health, training, and fitness to be on your fingertips so that you can learn how to preserve your health, how to better your conditions, to have more energy, to have a better lifestyle, not to get sick of things that can be avoided. So we were looking about here about prevention, and also how to build your body that's going to be uniquely yours. Actually, after reading your book, you'll be able to train yourself. You're going to be able to customize your own diet so that it can fit to your daily plan, to your demands, to your starting point, and to your goal. All of this, and that needs serious emphasizing, all of this is with natural means. The book is 750 pages. It is not just a book you can read before you go to sleep or just for fun. This is a textbook. It needs very serious attention. You'll find out that sometimes you get actually stuck because it's a lot of researches there, a lot of science, and that's great. When you get stuck, that means you achieved your level. You have to learn now something new. Don't worry, I explained everything in detail so much that you'll be able to understand it, provided you've got successfully finished grade 8. So if you've got grade 8, this book is for you. So it is very good you to learn it carefully so that you can get the best of this book, to come back after you read it several times to refresh. Also, the book has, after every chapter, say for example, we take the chapter of the air, we've got questions. I put these questions to make sure that you understand the matter very well. Please don't skip it. The questions can be answered if you read and studied the book nicely. Every single natural mean, like air, water, sun, sleep, food, and so on. So every one of them, look at it, how many different parts of just of the food I researched, and give you the best contemporary research on the subject, so that you want to know about energy and you just click on the energy and you study what it's of your interest. But I recommend first read the whole book and only then refer to it from time to time as your needs may be. So, apart from being a textbook, which needs serious attention and careful study, this book is also an encyclopedia. So you can study absolutely everything of all of these natural means to achieve top health and unique body regardless of your age. This book envisions everybody, women, men, children, senior people, everybody, as long as you don't have any health impediment that need consultation with a physician so that you know your limitations. As long as you're healthy, this book is for you. If you've got any health problem, read the book, but consult your physician, because definitely all natural means that I give to your attention in this book will help you. But since you've got a specific limitation, you need to address them with your physician. Definitely, in order the book to have any value, needs to be serious in its argumentation of the everything that is studied. So there is some chemistry, there is some physics, there is some biology, but that should not stop you. When you see something like this, when you see chemical formulas, you shouldn't get scared and said, "Oh, no, that's not for me. I know how. I'm get scared." No, everything is explained very, very well. So you don't need to get scared of science. You just need to read it carefully. It's explained. On top of that, at the end of the book, I also provide you with books that you can study further on, where you can increase your knowledge on the subject. It is recommended that you can maybe go through that. And also, the book has over 300 internal references. Say, for example, we're talking about how we experience pleasure, when we train, the endorphins go into our body, etc., etc. Now, when we talk about this subject in this part of the book, but you think about, hey, what was that? Don't worry, I provide you with internal references where we've got, so now you click there and you go there straight and you see what was meant by this reference that we were into. So you don't need to bother about much of something skipped your mind. I've got plenty of internal references. Apart from internal references, the book contains more than 300 contemporary researches. We're talking about science here, we're not talking about Mickey Mouse. We're talking about science where you can actually go and see what is all about. Now we're talking about what's happening when the exposure of sun is missing and what damage it does to your body. All of these articles can help you furthering your study. Plenty of this. You've got beautiful infographics where in detail I explain say for example in this chapter, the benefits of the sun, with complete detail in the text and in the infographic. So the book is not only meant to teach you certain things, but also how to apply them in your life. Apart from the fact that the book is richly illustrated, as you can see by yourself, I also give references to videos actually where scientists themselves give the information that you need. Say for example about the benefits and the harms of sunlight. For 2 hours you're going to study Dr. Huberman and Dr. Glenn Jeffrey and others explain you current 2026 research about the subject that we're discussing. All of this is in the book, which makes the electronic edition much better than the printed edition. So it is good you to go through all of the links that I'm giving you, videos, to further your knowledge on the subject. On top of that, the book being a textbook, encyclopedia, the book is also autobiography. That means that all what I'm talking about this book I tested on myself, on my family, and on my clients. So you've got not only a scientific knowledge about all the subject, how to achieve good health and ultimate body, now you've got also all of this experience through blood and sweat in my own experience, my family, and with my clients. That makes this book unique, you know, because scientists are not good with training, and the people that train are not good with science. Now this book is putting together these two important things: the science and the training, the personal experience. Now you can see here me with Cobus Fissa, a famous rugby player on SABC2, and acknowledgement letter from the mayor of Heidelberg, where I used to organize competitions. You see also Alan Vornes presenting me with a reward for caring about the health of the children, and many other personal experience. The book is also full of humor, and it makes it a nice, pleasurable read, despite of a lot of scientific researches and explanations. So my personal experience gives you the confidence that the things that I'm recommending, it's working. All of this I tested in my own practice. And also my training also is given here. Now I'd like to show you something very interesting. Now you can see where I trained. This is Professor Pavel Dobrev in the National Sports Academy in Bulgaria. That's me here. And he trains only people over 70 years old. As you can see, these are his students. And he accepted me as a student only because I was recommended. He would never take me. He trains only people over 70, over 80. These guys, you can see, this, he pushes bench press 120 kgs. This guy there, over 200 kg deadlift. Actually, he made a competition once with his students, several of them, not all of them. And actually the old guys beat the young students. Can you imagine? In most of the competitions. So it shows Professor Pavel Dobrev how he trains all of these people. and the significance also that can be in your life. Also, as I said, it shows the experience with my clients. There is one done. There is 3 months later what I did with him. And he continued. Of course, he needs to train more to achieve the top form. There is also Natalie. She was a little bit overweight when I start with her. Now look how she looks. And that is actually the practicality of the whole story. There is no use only of theory where there is no basis of practice. Basically, what's the book all about? You've got 8 free resources that are available to every single person, that are free. And unfortunately, 99% of the people don't make use of it, and because of that suffer. Clean air, clean water, sunlight, good sleep, healthy, nutritious and delicious food, lack of stress, life full of laughter and good mood, intensive training and discipline. These are available and free means. You won't believe that actually you don't know most of these natural resources that are free and how they can affect you. I'm giving you the information, and the important thing that we need to understand and to get out of this book is that all these free resources, they don't act one by one on our body. They act in combination. This is called synergistic effect. What it means is that instead of 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 can make 8, it makes 256. So that means the effect of all of these free resources, it's not just the sum of it, but it's multiplying this effect. This is what's called synergistic. It means if we use all of them, we're going to have much bigger effect than the simple arithmetic sum of all of them. The book also gives you the methodology you to go through your training and to your health program, your diet, your lifestyle, so that you can adjust it for optimal results. Gives you the science for it. Gives you also a lot of history. It will show the diet of ancient people, that they knew nothing about protein and carbohydrates and nothing. But look how they looked. Look how these gladiators are looking. Just look at it. With nice strong bodies, and I'm giving you their diet. On top of that, I interviewed several champions, and they also share their diets and experience. There's a world vice champion. There's a Natal bodybuilding champion, clean, no steroids, Marzet Debier, and good friend of mine, who was colonel in the police and get depressed as most of the policemen are nowadays. Very stressful work. He was admitted 3 times in a hospital of depression. His wife committed suicide. It is a terrible life. But he decided to, with God's help, turn around, and he became a champion. Get rid of the medications for depression. And there is me, Derek Watts, the late Derek Watts, carte blanche, and Marzet. So I've got a lot of experience in the book. Also, it's inevitable, the book, to touch on history. I'm showing you a lot of history regarding the subject of health, discipline, and how these people coped with the challenges they had in a way of discipline. I'm showing you also physically challenged people Look, Brian, which has only one leg but keeps on training and keeps in a good shape. So if he with one leg can train, how much you that got two hands and two legs? We'll show you the example of Dane Carnezes, who for 50 consecutive days ran 50 marathons. Also ran across America, and I'm showing you also his diet and his experience. If you like discipline, don't worry, the book has a whole chapter on the discipline and teaches you how to achieve it, what not to do, what to do, how to plan, and all of these things that are necessary to get back on track. So it gives you the tools to achieve it. It's up to you if you're gonna use them, how to manage your time so that you can avoid a lot of falls. Also, I'm showing you about some pitfalls of dieting. Say, for example, there is a Jay Dingsha. He died 65 years old, being a vegan. Look, I'm also vegan. And you see how I look. He was a vegan all his life, and he died. He died from heart attack. Dave Thomas, who is a chairman and the founder of Wendy Burgers, he died 3 years longer. He lived 3 years longer than Jay Dingsha, 68 years old. He also died from heart attack. He eats 5 burgers every day. And you know, how can you living a longer life with totally unhealthy diet compared to a completely nice diet, a vegan diet, without any explanation why this happened? Definitely Jay Dingsha make a very serious blunders in his life regarding a diet. He was missing omega-3 and vitamin B12, and there is a video explaining actually the whole story, and I'm explaining it also in the story. So it is very important before you launch anything, you to be clear what's going on. And some people say that vegetarians are stupid and they are weak. Look at it. That's Nime Delgado. He's a vegan bodybuilder. There's also Patrick Babumian. That's the strongest German and winner of the multiple world titles. You'll read his achievements, that he can carry actually half a ton over 10 meters. It's just incredible. And he's a vegan. You see, it's a vegan. What's about fasting? Is it good to fast? How to fast? The benefits of fasting once a week, also do it. How the fasting actually increases your muscles. Increases. Look at it. I fast every Friday from Thursday lunch, because I eat twice a day. From Thursday lunch till Saturday morning, I do nothing. I don't eat anything. How the fasting actually increases your memory, increases your intellect. This guy here cured jaundice by 20 some days of complete hunger, just water. This guy is a friend of mine, but be very careful, because Francisco Baraya, 39-year-old pastor, decided to follow 40 days fasting of Jesus and died. Like with everything, you need to be very careful. This is book that will explain you what are the dangers of that and how to avoid it. We've got the same case with water. In Iraq, the United States soldiers drank more than 10 liters a day. At the same moment, the water is very good for your body, but at the same moment you must be very careful, because Matthew Carrington was killed with water they forced him to drink 5 liters. There is a rate of passing in the colleges, American colleges, because they forbid the alcohol, so they decided to use water. They made him drink 5 liters straight water, and he died. The doctors could not save him. I'm explaining you all this, and I'm giving you the article where you can trace yourself. Look, the water is great for your brain. Without water, your nervous system cannot function, and many other things. If you don't drink water, look at it. This Xiao Yu in China. Look how many kidney stones was taken out of if you're dehydrated. It's actually in Taiwan. This woman, the woman actually almost died, but they saved her from the kidney stones. Why old people are 45% water, but the babies has 80% water in their body? It shows you how when we start climbing a peak, 300 people, and I'm here the oldest, from this bottom position near the lake to the top, only 4 of us managed to do it. And that's because drinking water. How the filtration happens in your body, what are the things that you need to be careful, why the water balance is always neutral. That means if you drink more water, you'll never retain it in your body. If you drink less water, your body is gonna hold it. And this is why people that are overweight, actually they retain water and they don't feel so much thirst as others. Why it's difficult for them actually to lose weight. Now, you've seen that paradox maybe, and you tried to figure it out and you couldn't. How can skinny people eat a lot of and never get any weight to their body? They don't put any weight. And at the other side, overweight people who eat like mouse but don't slim. How that's possible? Definitely, I'm explaining you in the book how to do it. One of the most important chapters are about the sun, and we're gonna see about how actually you can get energy from the sun. I spend 5-6 hours every day on the sun. I sleep like a baby. I never get sick. I've got a lot of energy. It works on your cells in a way that it gives you a lot of energy. How does it work? It's explained in this book. It's a very interesting point where you've got energy coming from the sun that actually energizes your cells. And if you don't expose yourself on the sun, you feel tired when you wake up and have a breakfast, you want to go back to bed. I never have that feeling. I'm full of energy all of day. I don't only train vigorously every day from 4 to 6, but I also have to work on the garden. And that's heavy work, and I'm 58 and I'm full of energy. And I'll show also the interesting research that took 20 years with 30,000 women, and actually they found that the people that avoid sun have the same mortality as the people that expose themselves to the sun but smoked. So that means if you don't expose yourself daily to the sun, it's the same effect as smoking. That research is given. You don't need to worry. All of this is given. There is also research about the sun and how it affects us. Can you tan when it's cloudy? Yes, you can. Also, another important point is about the sleeping. The sleep and how it affects you. This is the guy that tries to stay 200 hours without sleep and at the end get mad. And this boy actually bettered his achievement, Randy Gardner, and he didn't sleep for 11 days and nothing happened to him. Didn't get mad like Mr. Tripp, who tried to do the achievement 200 hours. Actually, he get mad and he still that condition was irreversible. It shows you the different stages of sleep and why when you wake up in one of them it's difficult to fall asleep, and when you wake up on the other one it's easy to fall asleep. How to have a better sleep, it explains you very well. How the sleep actually affects your brain. It's crucially important you to have good sleep. What kind of people you are you an early morning or a late morning person? Does it matter actually? And what you can do to actually fit your daily routine so that you can feel comfortable. Actually, sleep is something that we ignore greatly. We really ignore it and we find it something insignificant, while the only country in the world is India, which actually recognizes the need of sleep as a human right, and the violation of it is actually is punished. So it is very important to understand how the sleep affects us. Why, if you don't sleep, you'll never gain muscles. Whatever you do, it's also is connected with stress. How the sleep affects actually the health of your bones, can you imagine? And your, of course, your training performance. How it affects your mood, why you get very irritable when you don't sleep. It's also discussed in the book. Why we have bad dreams. I never have any bad dream, and there's the reason for that. It's explained in the book why we have such a bad dreams. What is lucid dreaming, and actually how can you control your own dreams? Actually, it's like ordering a movie. When you start sleeping and actually you are the director in the movie, and you tell, okay, I want to sleep that, I would like to dream that, and that happens. How to do that? That scientific research is not just things like this. Stephen Laberger made in the 1970s still. What is lucid dreaming? Why do people fall asleep in the church? And why they fall asleep when they read? Hope that's not going to happen when you read this book. Not only that, but how the dreams that you dreamed last night actually shape your day and makes you in a different way. What researches have been done and discoveries by the dreams. Look at it. These guys with these pairs, with, you can't see it here, but at the end of the spears there is a holes. He dreamed that, and on the next day Elias Howe discovered the sewing machine. Can you imagine? This guy, on the other hand, Kekule, discovered the benzene ring in chemistry by dreaming that a snake is biting his hand. Mendeleev, the Russian scientist, discovered the periodic table by dreaming, and many other things that are done by dreaming. So when you dream, it's actually a lot of productive time. Your brain is working very, very strong. What to do when we missed 1 or 2 hours of sleep? How many hours more? It gives you the exact formulas. When we can't sleep also what to do. What to do also when you wake up during the night. What practical advices we need to do. It explains you in the books with all scientific research. Is it possible you to sleep when the storm is raging and when you've got bad day and things like this, and shows you why that can be done? Tells you a lot about the story of the food science and how it happens, who discovered what. What is the most important thing about the food? To be nutritious, to be healthy, and to be tasty, and how we can balance that. That's also done in the book. Do we need a lot of protein, like all around the people says to us, things like this? Do we need protein? Gives you the structure of protein and how it works in your body. Interesting thing is about the different calories and the different way we eat. How, say for example, the apples are different than the pizza, not only about the content, but the way we feel about the food. What to do if we crave some kind of food? There is a 2 minutes craving rule, tells you what to do so that you can break free of this dependency. It teaches you also not to dig your own grave with the dependencies that you've got. How the food can make you addicted, especially processed food. Actually, the people that produce this food are very guilty because they make you addicted, just like a heroin addict, like a drug addict. It's terrible. And tells you all of this and what you need to watch out. Tells you a lot about the vitamins and the minerals, the deficiency and overdose with all of them, and hypervitaminosis and hypovitaminosis, what happened. And I'm surprised to tell you that a lot of people don't know how to eat. I'm giving you very simple rules of how to eat for healthy body and strong muscles. Some people very mistakenly believe that actually your body is the result of caloric balance. That means if you eat less calories, you're gonna have less body weight, which is not true. The weight is not just calories in, calories out. Is principles that I discuss. I'm giving you a nice examples here where you can see that this is not true. Looking at calorie balance, it's not correct. And I'm giving you plenty of examples to show this, that's a mistake. That's a misnomer. Give you some nice recipes how to make different healthy foods also. This is not a recipe book, but gives you a few recipes as well. It gives you the incredible research of epidemiologist Dennis Burkett, who studied a lot of people in Africa in the 60s, and he found that the people in the Western societies die actually killing themselves because of their food. While in Africa, where he did that study, they didn't have their diseases like a cancer, a stroke, heart attack. And he found that the people in Africa eat a lot of fibers, where in the Western society they eat a lot of processed food. The problem is that we in South Africa and in a lot of parts of Africa nowadays, 60 years after this research, people start killing themselves exactly like people in the Western societies. While we've got a lot of fruits and vegetables and nuts and grains here in South Africa, we don't use them, but people start killing themselves with all of this. While 60 years ago, when he did that research, people never knew about such diseases in Africa, that they exist, while Western societies were plagued out of these diseases. Shows you this research and shows you how to do it. Shows you why we are created to eat plants and not to eat meat like the carnivores. Right? It shows you all of this. Then we go about the stress, why we get stressed, how we can eliminate stress in our life, how different people react on the same event. Look, one start fighting, another one doesn't care, the other one crying, the other one laughing. Why different reactions? Of course, this is about the different temperaments, how the stress affects your body, your physical shape, your nervous system, your cardiovascular system, your immune system. All of this is explained in detail. Tells you why you get stressed, you get prone to a lot of sicknesses, why you need to avoid it. What does to your cardiovascular system also, what does to your heart. It's actually terrible. How to manage stress, what to do, how the music affects actually the stress, how to control it. Then we go on training. I'm showing you here a man that never trained, but look at it how it looks like. How can have a muscular body, a nice healthy body without actually training, like we go today in the gyms and things like this. Shows you how a man could pick a whole cow, milo of croton, and this is actually one of the basic principles of training, which I also practice with my daughter. As she grows bigger, I also get stronger. So this is the principle of training. If you don't know how to do split, but you need to do it, I'm teaching you how to do it slowly. How to do it give you also a lot of videos, my videos, where you can train it. How the training affects your muscles, and what happening with the hypertrophy and the other stuff with training. The lever principle of muscles, how it works in your body, how to develop cardiovascular endurance, shows you there. Different sports also, what's happening if you sit all the day and if you stand or if you move. It's actually different points. Why walking is one of the best exercises you can do. Shows you about swimming and the incredible benefits. Look how many benefits are of swimming. I research here and I show you. Gives you the researches as well. Riding a horse, different sports. Actually, I'm showing. Shows you also about the physics of martial arts. It's a very interesting point. What's happening when you are very well trained, and this guy actually pushes this boy, knocks him out of his bicycle, so the boy tells him not to fight, but this guy goes straight fight, so the guy gives him one kick in the neck and the guy is finished. It gives you the physics of the martial arts, how your bones are working. Gives you also the most powerful strikes in martial arts. I'm also doing research on that. The physics of the hits. It's very, very important to do it. How not to get involved in a fight, but what's going to happen if you're involved in a street fighting and what to do in a street fighting. Why you should never get involved in a competition, and what's happening when you get involved. Look at the Rapa Nui, the island of Pascha in the Pacific Ocean, how they completely devastated the whole island because of competition, and how also you'll devastate your life, destroy your life if you try to get involved in competition. We're not talking about competition, fighting competitions. We're talking about rivalry in the life. Try always to overdo something. How can a woman lift 1,200 kg car to save her son? Well, the bodybuilders can't lift even 600 kg deadlift, can you imagine? But a woman that never trained lifted a whole car. It shows you the physics behind it and why did it happen. Very important also not only to train, but you have enough rest, and what's happening if you don't rest, what risk happening to your immune system, to your injuries and some other stuff. Can you train at home? Yes, you can train, and all of this is explained how to do it, and the advantage of the training at home and training at the gym gives you also all of this. What is the best time of training? Why you should utilize the best time of training? How you can do it? What are the functions of muscles? Why the colibri has 200 beats per second while the elephant got only 20? And it's not only the functions of the muscles is to move, but also to store heat and many other stuff. What happens if you're muscular and if you're overweight, and how you're going to feel cold and heat and all of this, and why it's important you to have a body without fat, and actually even while you're resting you're going to burn more than if you are fat. Why that so? What happens if you are forced to be in one room, say for example they lock you in the prison? Can you train still and make a nice strong body? Yes, you can with isometric exercises, and shows you the difference. That's one of the progenitors of the isometric exercises. Look at it. Alexander Zas with isometric exercises lifted a whole horse. Can you imagine? And why you should involve weight training in your routine despite of your age or whatever. Why lifting weights actually boosts your brain. We're not talking about lifting a lot of weights, we're talking about just weight training. Why that's important. And we're going about discipline, how to be proactive instead of reactive, and what's happening when you one of the others, and the disadvantages of the one compared to the other. It's very, very important, not dependent on of the events that happening in your life. How to control our impulses, how to have more self-control. On what depends the self-control, gives you the research. The research about self-control and the age, and why in different life stages we've got more control than the others. Say for example, it tells you, gives you the experiments and gives you the specifics of the body, mind and everything else in your life through different stages of life. Made this all of these graphics myself. Why young people are more interested in reputation, the middle ages about money, and the old people about peace, and all of this. How our habits are formed and how can we control them instead of they to. Shows you how to get rid of bad habit, from picking your nose to being glued to Facebook and to your phone. Tells you exactly what you need to do. Tells you the virtuous cycle of the good habits and how they reinforce themselves, and at the same moment gives you also the vicious cycle of the bad habits and how actually they put you in the hole from which is very difficult to get out. But don't worry, I'm explaining to you there how to sort this problem. We're talking about motivation, what's internal, what's external motivation, and how to achieve it, to be motivated. Shows you experiments of how addiction is formed and why we get addicted by many stuff in detail. Beautiful experiments also I'm showing you with Dr. Friedman, where it created a lot of very good conclusions about how our choices actually control our life, and how different types of approaches, the persuasion and the punishment approach, how they work with people, and why it's important to do everything by persuasion than out of fear of punishment or expectation of a reward. It's very important study. Also, how not to go to that place, because if we get too many dependencies, we start losing control, and this is sure sign of the road to the asylum, to the madhouse. When you get depressed, we're talking about non-chronic depressed, happens to everybody. What to do, what are the symptoms, and how can we resolve it? Gives you the examples also. Also, I'm exploring the relationship between selfishness and depression, why the selfish people are more depressed, and why this is happening, and how to get out of that. And I think that I made a complete presentation of the book. That's her last page. And I'm a living example of what I preach in this book. So I'd like you to achieve more than what I achieved. Just read the book and practice it. And I wish you success on this way, although it may be difficult, but it's glorious. And I hope you're going to get it. Thank you for your attention.